In today's episode, we'll be talking about winning habits and what are the kinds of habits that you can do to create a moving forward, improving all the time motion. All right, stay tuned. Here we go. Today's episode will be talking about why small habits are a big deal. We'll also be talking about who is the most important person in the circle, social habits that count, and the power of the word no. We'll also be talking about how to have courage and honor in your struggles. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the most important conversations you'll ever have in your life. Today's episode is not real estate specific, but it is success specific. So I want you to slow down a little bit and contemplate, are these winning habits or could you use a little improvement? Now let's talk about why small habits are a big deal. You know, little habits can be a big deal. Little habits can set the tone for how you're going to handle bigger issues, especially early in the day or right off the start from the very beginning. What are you doing when you start your day? You might think that something as small and as insignificant as just making your bed when you get up is nothing to fret over. But may I suggest, let's do that one thing right. Let's do it competent. Let's do it complete. Let's get it finished and let's start today off on the right foot, having something beautifully accomplished and done correctly. It's small, but we're setting the tone. Not only have you set the tone for organization and order, you have set the tone for others in your household or others around you. And last but not least, you've given yourself a clean and organized environment to come home to at the end of the day when everything has been pushed and forced and all the struggles have happened. You will get to come home and see one more time this thing that you did right and did well. It may be a small thing, but it's an important thing. Who is the most important person in your circle? Well, it's you, of course. How you take care of you is everything. How are you handling your health? How are you handling your family relationships? How are you handling your friendships? How are you handling that balance between work and play? How are you handling that balance between rest and vigor, stress and calm? If you don't take care of yourself, this train can fall off the track real easy. When I was young, I did not pay attention to such things, and I was very out of balance. I was always out of balance. In fact, probably my greatest challenge was to stay in balance. I would go so hard in one direction, either direction, that it was hard for me to recover. This caused me some problems in my life. Now at age 60, I've learned to have some balance, but it was a long, hard lesson, and I still struggle with it to this day. So I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm just telling you to be aware. Also remember, social habits count. People are watching you. They're always watching you. You have to go through life figuring that even when you're not paying attention, someone else is paying attention to you. So watch how you walk. Be professional on and off the field. The personal impressions that people have of you will stay with you inside their mind for a long time. It's also important that we learn the power of the word no. If things are not in line with what you're trying to accomplish, if people are bringing you ideas or business opportunities, and they're great business ideas and great business opportunities, but they're not in line with your goals and you haven't accomplished them yet, learn to say no. Spreading yourself too thin will kill you. Ask me, I'm a pro at it. I have been spread thin so many times that it became painfully obvious that I had to learn to say no. Even when things were great ideas, even when opportunities were great, I had to say no to some really good stuff so that I could just finish the good idea I started a few weeks or a few months ago. It doesn't do any good to start great ideas if you're not going to finish. And it seems like there's always something that comes up that you'd like to do before you finish the one great idea. I've coined a few things in my life, and I did coin this one thought. The hardest thing an entrepreneur will ever do is come up with one great idea and finish. This journey that we're on, everyone's journey, is hard and difficult. There are struggles. So let's learn to have honor and courage in our struggles. When times are good, let's be humble. This makes a big impression on people. When you are struggling, let's have honor. Let's own the struggle. Let's face up to it head on. Let's talk to mentors or counselors or therapists or whatever we need to do to get through the struggle that we're having. And carry yourself as a well-rounded person based in reality. And don't be ashamed when you're struggling. Struggles happen to all of us. We are all struggling. It's the nature of the game. By suppressing or holding down your struggles or trying to take them on your own, you're only hurting yourself and probably prolonging the struggle, if not intensifying it. So learn to own your struggles and to find help and counseling and seek professional advice from people that have been there before and have conquered the mountain you're trying to climb. So before we get to the segment where we cover the most important conversations you'll ever have, let's pause for just a moment. If these kinds of episodes have been helpful to you or informational for you, please take this time to hit the like buttons and the share buttons. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. So before we wrap up this episode, let's talk about the most important conversations you're ever going to have. And guess who you're going to have them with? You're going to have them with you. You are going to be the most important person you've talked to ever in your whole entire career, in your life. You will be the person you talk to the most. So it is critically important that you always speak to yourself with respect and dignity. Positive affirmations are not a joke. How we talk, what we imagine, how we envision ourselves out in the future, that is how we are going to be. It's biblical and it's true. The power of this thing right here between our ears, the mind, is incredible, and it will take us wherever we tell it to. So we have to be careful what we're telling ourselves and what we're telling our mind and what we're talking to about when we're talking to ourselves. It is the person you will speak to the most. So be careful in those conversations. I'd like to thank you all for staying till the end, and because you did stay to the end, I want to give away a creative real estate investing webinar, and all you have to do is go to 1000houses.com/free-stuff and scroll up and down the home page there until you see Creative Real Estate Investing Webinar. Click on that, it'll be digitally downloaded, and you will be taking in the information in that webinar just like that.